Okay, I'm back, people. We're back to the top 10 best. This is my best list, best films of 2014 list. I also have a few honorable mentions, like 6 films I saw either on TV or such that I really did enjoy. Um, get back. I want to show my Godzilla shirt. Maybe I should put this back a little bit. There we go. Much better. Okay, now this way. Yeah. These are my best, not yours. Remember that. You put your own list in the bottom if you want to make your own list or your own video of the top 10 films that you really enjoyed this year. Now I'm not going to do much ranting. I'm going to do a lot of defending, and I'm going to give a lot of praise to these films that actually made me smile. They made me laugh. They made me enjoy myself. Holy crap, there were some good movies this year? Yes, there were. The bad ones can go suck it. These I liked. Let me start with the honorable mentions. These are not no particular order. Just a couple films I saw this year that I didn't think were that bad, and maybe you haven't heard of. One is Stan Lee's Mighty Seven. This was an animated TV movie that was supposed to spawn a TV series. I don't know what happened, if the rights got, there was a rights issue or whatever, but if you can get your hands on this or if you could see it on TV, give it a watch. It's really fun. It's kind of like the Avengers. They're not known characters though. They're just the voice acting's pretty good. It had a fast pace. The action was pretty fun. Stan Lee, you're still the man. You have made a cinematic universe of awesome ever since the 1960s, man. You gave me this. I liked it, so I give it an honorable mention. Next, we had Midnight Masquerade. This was a Hallmark movie that I saw a couple months ago. I thought it was really cute. I think it was in October. It's got Autumn Reeser. She was in the Lost Boys sequel that I didn't care for, but I think she's very cute. She was in a movie called Love at the Thanksgiving Parade. I thought that was really sweet. And, it was a lighthearted film. She fell in love with this guy at a party at a masquerade ball, and then they fall in love. It's a typical schmaltzy, very cute movie, and I like movies that are that show my sensitive side. I like watching movies with my family, with my mom and my sister. Watching some sweet movies that are not inappropriate. It's just it's to pass the time, and it's always a good time. So I've mentioned that one. Okay, the next one is an anime film I saw with the franchise I've been watching ever since I was a young teen. I really love this franchise. I thought this movie was pretty awesome because they turned an episode of a show into a TV movie that's much longer and it's more epic. And that's Pokemon Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction. I thought this was pretty well done. The animation looks stunning. It was really cute. Diancie's a very cute Pokemon. It was funny. It had a lightheartedness to it. It had a lighthearted tone. I like the visuals are really stunning. I've always liked this franchise. The games are so addictive. I love them. They're awesome. I can't wait to play Alpha Sapphire next week. It's a very very fun movie, and it's if you can see it on TV or if the DVD comes out or Blu-ray, just give it a watch. It's not terrible. The next one, yeah, a lot of people are gonna laugh at me, but I don't care. I like the first one. This was a fun watch on television on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I had a ball watching this with my sister, and that is Sharknado 2, the second one. I thought Ian Ziering as the lead in this movie, he kicks ass with a freaking chainsaw. He's like Ash from Evil Dead. It had a lot of fun moments. I laughed at it. It was just so much fun. The gore was over the top, and the sharks just chomping on everybody. Attacking people in the plane, and then Richard Kind takes a freaking baseball bat and knocks a shark into the scoreboard. It was awesome. This black guy, he knocks a shark into the oven and he cooks them. It's hysterical. It's just a fun movie. I know they're like, oh, these are shitty. I don't watch it for the visual effects or for the acting. I watch it for the spectacle. I laugh. It's fun. Tara Reid actually, even she kicked some ass at the end. I like Vivica Fox. I've always thought she was a sexy woman. She's getting better with age. Kurt Angle, he was in the film for a little bit. It was nice to see him. The gore is off the chain. I mean, Ian Ziering does this speech at the end of the film, and then a shark passes him, and he has a chainsaw, and it goes, and it's a guilty pleasure movie. I think these movies are a lot of fun. You know, just a lot of fun, man. I don't know what else to say. Just Sharknado 2 I liked. I know a lot of people hate it, but there's a reason that this and the first film trended on Twitter. It's fun B movie, entertainment at its finest. So it's not in my best, but I wanted to give it a mention. Next is Terry the Tomboy. This was a Nickelodeon TV movie. That surprised me. I thought it was going to be utter shit. But you know what? It had a charm to it. The girl that played Terry, I thought she was very funny. Did the most spot on impression of Miley Cyrus I've ever seen. And she was good in the film. Her friend Duncan D was really funny. It was a short film. It made me laugh. It was what it was. It's not high art, but I had fun with it, and I would think, giving it a mention wouldn't hurt. And my last honorable mention is a Disney Channel movie. It's called How to Build a Better Boy. I thought this was the best of all the Disney Channel movies that have come out this year. I will not be watching Teen Beach Movie 2. I don't give a shit about the first one, so that one, the second one, I'm avoiding. This one I liked. I like the sci-fi aspect and the premise and the actors I really like. I think Kelly Berglund is really cute. China McClain, she was decent in the film. Matt Shively was funny as all hell in this movie. He made me laugh a lot. The guy Marshall Williams, he plays the robot. I think his name is Albert. He's a very handsome, very talented Canadian actor. I gotta say that, and I can admit that without being gay. And it's a movie that I liked. It was definitely something that worked for me, and it was something different. It wasn't just a typical Disney Channel schmaltzy musical or things we've seen 100 times before. It was something different, and I liked it. So it deserves an honorable mention. I also want to mention a movie I didn't put on my list, but Cloud Nine was also another good one. So if you have kids, show them this. It's not gonna hurt them. Now, my top 10. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care. This is not for the critics on YouTube or the critics on Rotten Tomatoes or the critics on IMDb or anywhere. This is my list. I love these movies. I really enjoyed them. They really left an impression on me, and I will own some of these movies when some of them are released on DVD and Blu-ray next year. Some of them haven't been released yet, but number 10 was a very cute animated movie that I saw this year. And no, it's not a Despicable Me film because it didn't come out this year. It got postponed to next summer. But this one I saw during the summer when they re-released it, and it was really cute, really funny, and had a lot of heart to it. And that is Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Yeah, the reason this movie didn't do well that as well as some other DreamWorks films, but I thought it was really cute. The kid that played Sherman, Max Charles, is adorable. Mr. Peabody, his voice was really cute in the film. His intelligence was intriguing in the film. Just a fun premise, a really good animation, just very funny jokes that made me laugh hard in the theater. The film has a lot of heart to it. The dog does everything for this boy because he loves him, and I get that. I felt it. I got the message without it being preachy. Ariel Winter playing the blonde chick, the little blonde girl, so cute. Just a very colorful, very bright, very enjoyable animated movie. And if you have kids, show them this. They're going to absolutely adore the animation. They're going to be like, wow, this is very pretty. And, it's fun to see something that's different from Disney or Pixar or any of these other animated studios. And I liked it. Really fun movie. I would advise you see this with your kids. It's a fun time, especially in the theater. Okay, number 9. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, but this movie sucked. It was disappointing." I really enjoyed it, and I know that it's not perfect. I will say my problems when I get to it, and that is Lucy. I absolutely adore Scarlett Johansson. I have said that many times. I love her as Black Widow in the Avengers. I loved her in Lost in Translation. Even the other bowling girl with Natalie Portman and her. They're the two most beautiful women I've ever seen in Hollywood in the last 10 years. They're gorgeous. They can act. And oh my God, I love watching them. She did a fantastic performance in this movie. Fantastic. Just her emotion on her face and her intensity and just the look in her eyes and just she gives her all to this role. That's why the movie worked, and that's why the audiences watch this movie. She has star power, and she proves it. The visuals are good. The story to me was intriguing. Oh, it's not an action film. They lied to me. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's not balls to the wall action like shoot 'em up. It's trying to tell a story in a different way. Kind of like Source Code. That wasn't much of an action film, but it was good. It was a fun watch. This I liked. Scarlett Johansson really saved this movie for me. If it was any other actress, I wouldn't not even bothered. I saw this in RPX. Great experience. The visuals were really good. The premise was intriguing. Morgan Freeman did a good performance. Scarlett Jo once again, loved her in this film, and there's another film that she did that's on my list. Uh, the ending was kind of like it wasn't the best. It could have been a little bit fixed, but it didn't kill the film for me because I still went with it. It was a fun ride. There's a lot of gore in this film, so don't let your kids watch this movie thinking it's for them because it's not. When the action's there, it works. There's no shaky cam. There's gore in it. It's not neutered like Expendables 3. It goes at a fast pace when it's there. You know, I thought that the acting wasn't that bad. Yeah, the French guy or whatever that was with Scarlett Jo wasn't very memorable, but it's still a good movie. It deserves a spot at number 9. It's not in my top 5, but it's still good. Can't wait till this is on DVD. Fun premise. Awesome movie, in my opinion. Okay, number 8. I know this film got a lot of flack. But let me tell you, I've loved this character since I was a kid. I watched his movies. I watched him destroy shit. I watched him be. Excuse me. Wait. Sorry about that. That was just the thing blacking out. Like I said before, I love this movie monster. He has brought me through there have been good times and bad times, and I don't think this is a bad time. Thanks to this movie, we're getting another reboot in 2016, and Toho's gonna bring him back, and that is Burn, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, I'm in the way. Dun, 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 dun. The new Godzilla. Yes, people, I enjoyed the new Godzilla. Oh, but Godzilla's in the movie for 8 minutes. Oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson is a shitty actor. Oh, Elizabeth Olsen is just there. Oh, Ken Watanabe is Yoda. I've heard all the bitching and complaining, and I don't care. I thought Godzilla was freaking awesome. When he's on screen, the first time I saw the CG chubby Godzilla and he roared, I erupted in the theater. It was a great experience. He went, ah! And I was like, yeah! That was freaking awesome. And Rambo Rap had a problem with this, saying, oh, it was boring. The movie is not the fastest paced film. But when the build up for Godzilla showing up was freaking epic sauce on a stick. I saw the original movie in the theater this year as well, and it still holds up, and there's a lot of build up for it. The Mutos did not bother me. I thought the creatures looked freaking awesome. It was good to see Godzilla fight a new monster. It wasn't just rehashed from the Toho films. It did something different, and it got shit on by critics, and it got shit on by some of the general public, saying it's the most disappointing movie of the year. Oh, boo, freaking who? Come on, people. You're gonna say that this is one of the worst films of the year, and you had freaking all the films I mentioned, and the new Ninja Turtles that look like shit, and you had freaking unfunny comedies during the winter, and you had all these bullshit reboots that we didn't need. This was a reboot I supported, and I'm glad I did. 8 minutes of freaking Nirvana with Godzilla. Oh, he gets his ass kicked by the Mutos. Hold on. If you've seen this movie, this is another movie where two monsters are fighting Godzilla and they kick his ass, but he still beats them at the end with the help of some humans. This one, Terror of Mechagodzilla, which is one of my favorite Godzilla movies, and Godzilla doesn't appear much longer in this film than he did in the new one. He comes in about an hour into this movie, and he still kicks the shit out of Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla by himself without the help of another monster. All he had was the help of some of the humans with that beam that shoots into Titanosaurus's neck, and that's it. But this movie I enjoy, and it gets the same flack that this new Godzilla gets. The new Godzilla I thought was freaking awesome. It's not the best. It's not the greatest movie of all time. It's not even my top 10 favorite Godzilla movies, but it would get an 11th spot because it made me nostalgic. Nostalgia stood with me for the whole movie. Oh, it's slow pace. The only thing I didn't like, there were two things I didn't like about the film. Bear with me. I didn't like Sally Hawkins. I thought she was out of place. She was just exposition. She just repeated almost anything that Ken Watanabe said, and I did not care. I think Bryan Cranston does a good performance. He should have been used more in the film. I agree with that. But him being missing in the rest of the film didn't kill my love for the film. The monster action is freaking awesome. When it's there, it delivers. I think the visual effects are good. It's an epic scale. You see Godzilla's feet. Then you see his stomach. Then it goes to his chest. Then you see his face. And he's like, this. And then he roars. It was freaking awesome. It was orgasmic. It was freaking, I was like, wow, my favorite monster is on the big screen after 10 years, and he came back strong, and the movie made money, and I'm glad, and Toho's gonna make another film, so stop bitching. Stop it. Haters, hate the film, I don't care, because with this new movie, it did well, and it brought back the kaiju genre in full effect, baby. It brought back the old films on Blu-ray, and people are getting into the movies again. The kaiju genre is going to thrive now. And Toho said, oh, this new Godzilla, people are interested in Godzilla again. We're going to bring you another one. And I'm glad, man, because I love Godzilla. He's my favorite movie monster. I will never hate this movie. I don't care what the critics say. Actually, Rotten Tomatoes liked the film, and I agree with them. It was fun for what it was. It was more of a drama than an action film, I know, but so was the original. The original's better. But I like this movie. I think Godzilla, when he's on screen, kicks ass. The best moment in the movie, he takes the Muto's mouth like this, and he goes, and that was freaking awesome sauce on a stick. I was like, yes, choke on it, just like this guy said in the original Day of the Dead. Badass. Just loved it. Oh, he gets his ass kicked. It's two monsters against one. What the hell did you expect? The Mutos are pretty crafty. I thought the egg sack that they had was pretty, it was intriguing. Aaron Taylor Johnson I didn't hate in the film. Yeah, he's not the greatest actor, but I'm going to give him another chance in Avengers 2. I didn't like him in Kick-Ass because I thought he was a douchebag. Here, yeah, he's a soldier that doesn't show much emotion. Neither did Kurt Russell in Soldier, and I still like that movie. I think he's great in that. But Godzilla kicked ass this year, and I'm glad he's a success again. The King of the Monsters thrives. He lives. He freaking endured the bad publicity and the disappointment from some of these people that they didn't get the film they wanted. Oh, boo-hoo. I got what I wanted. I was satisfied. I can't wait for the sequel. And Toho bringing another film. Godzilla kicked ass this year. And that's my opinion, and I'm going to stick with it. So let me put this away, and we'll get to the next one. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to defend that movie to the very end, man. Not the best movie, Godzilla movie, but it brought him back, and I'm glad it did. Thank you, director. Thank you for not making Godzilla a complete joke. Haters are going to hate. There's a fan and there is a hater for every movie. But I'm a fan. Okay, now after that, passion, number 7 is Non-Stop. Yeah, I liked Non-Stop. I thought Liam Neeson kicked ass in this movie. It's not an action film, but it didn't bother me. I went with the premise, the guy texting him on the plane saying, if you don't give me something $1 million, I'm going to blow up the plane. I'm going to hurt people. It kind of reminded me of if Air Force One was a thriller, not an action film. But Liam Neeson was great. He's like, I'm trying to save it. And I'm like, you kick ass, Liam Neeson. I don't want to see Taken 3 because you're going to be wasted in that. The first Taken, you were awesome. Phantom Menace, you were awesome. And you're awesome in this. You're a great actor. I love your work. I will watch you in almost anything. Darkman, you were good. You know how to act, man. You know how to act. And you saved this film for me. You and Julianne Moore was really good in the film. Lupita Yongo, she just won an Oscar for 12 Years a Slave. She's nice to look at. The villains are kind of generic, but it had a sense of humor to it. It wasn't too depressing. You know, there's this line that Liam Neeson goes, "Free travel." And I was like, that's a great line. That's fun. He's like, "I'll give you all free travel for a year if you go with me." And I'm like, that was cool. That was really cool. That's a fun line in the movie. That's one of the best lines in the movie. I know some people gave the film flack for not being an action film, and also the 9/11 thing. I get it. I know I live in New York City, so it affected me too. But even though I didn't lose any family that day, but you know, you got to get over it. You got to get over things. You know, America's still around. The terrorists did not take our freedom away, but that's another thing. I don't want to get political. But Nonstop, good thriller. I really enjoyed it. I want to get it on Blu-ray sometimes. It's a shame that this movie did not get a good, you know, it didn't get a lot of features on Blu-ray. It's a shame. But it was a success. Thank you, general audience. You made this movie a hit. It deserved it, unlike a bunch of other shit that came out this year. So, good job, Nonstop. You impressed me. Now, number 6. You can definitely tell what I'm talking about. This is the third film in this quadrilogy, because it's going to be, there's another film next year. I thought this was a good sequel. Not a great one, but a really good one, and that is The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Jennifer Lawrence, even when she overacts in this movie, she's freaking amazing. Her eyes, her face, her freaking chops, just the way she delivers on screen. I don't know why most people hate her. I don't get it. Megan Fox can't act, and this girl gets flack instead? Are you freaking kidding me? She won an Oscar for Silver Linings Playbook. She can act. The line that she said, "If we burn, you burn with us." Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's the woman on fire right there. The girl on fire delivers. Josh Hutcherson, it was hard to see him in this movie because he looked really thin and just his face was messed up, and when he chokes Katniss and he tries to kill her, it scared the shit out of me in the theater. I was like, wow, this movie's dark, but it took a dark turn for the better, not the worse. You know, the imagery was creepy. It has an atmosphere to it. Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, sir. You were great in this movie. Julianne Moore is good in the film. Once again, Julianne Moore in another film I enjoyed her in this year. Keep it up. You're doing great work. Even at 50 something, you're great still. You know, whatchamacallit, Elizabeth Banks, even though she's not really gorgeous in the film like in the other films, she does a good performance. Woody Harrelson just steals scenery. Donald Sutherland is a crazy. He's one of the biggest, you know, pricks ever in film. Excuse me, but wow, he's just a villain that you want to just see die, and he will in part 2. I really enjoyed this film. I love that song that they sang, The Hanging Tree. It was freaking awesome. The visuals are great. The action, when it's there, it delivers. There was some shaky cam. I will say that's one of the problems I had in underusing Josh. Liam Hemsworth is also another shortcoming. I don't like him, and he had so much screen time he took from Josh. But hey, after the next one, I don't have to see him again. So, but the movie's good. Catching Fire was better, but I really enjoyed this, and I can't wait for the final film next year. Badass. Okay, number 5. I just saw this movie yesterday. I really enjoyed this. It was a spectacular finale to an underrated trilogy to the Lord of the Rings franchise. I thought this movie was really epic. Really good action at the end, and that is The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies. Wow, this movie was awesome. It's long, but it didn't feel like 3 hours. Martin Freeman's great as Bilbo Baggins. I said that in the first film. I said it in the second film. I'll say it again. This guy was born to play a young Bilbo Baggins. He's hilarious. He's fun to watch. Just gives his all in the character. All the other acting was really solid. Just a lot of drama and really good, performances. The visuals, really good stuff. I mean, there's CGI, there's a lot of it, but I think Peter Jackson, he knows how to still do films, man. I like his horror films, but I also like these Lord of the Rings / Hobbit films. They're just amazing to watch. They're spectacles for the big screen, no doubt about it. And, the second half of this film, It has some of the longest battles I've ever seen, and it was awesome. So much heads getting chopped off, and freaking sword play, and people just flipping and jumping and just going, crashing, and just it's awesome sauce. I thought, for a third film, this really reminded me of Return of the King, and that's a good thing for someone like me. Just loved every single second of that fight scene at the end. Just epic sauce. And the way it connected to the other films was a nice nod to the fans. And I'm glad this movie's going to make a lot of money this weekend. It's going to blow the shit out of the new Annie and Night at the Museum 3. I'm sorry, not looking forward to those. This was awesome. I'm glad it's the last film I saw in the theater. Just a great, summer, not summer, fall slash winter movie because it's not winter till next week. But wow, really good sequel, man. I don't know what else to say. It was worth it. Peter Jackson, you're still the man. I will give you all of my time in the next time you make another film, even if it's horror or whatever you do. You're still awesome. Thanks for giving us both of these trilogies. They're very entertaining fantasy films. I just get sucked into Middle Earth. Just a great spectacle. Just wonderful. Just long movies, but they intrigue me because they get me invested in the characters and the story and what's going on. And I love Lord of the Rings. It's definitely better than this, but this was a good prequel trilogy, and I don't care what anyone says. I enjoyed the Hobbit films. They were great. So that's all I can say about the Hobbit. Definitely would say it's an awesome movie. Now, number 4 is Interstellar. Yes, Nolan, you blew me away once again. No, I'm not one of those Nolan Knights that I worship this guy. No, he's just a really good film director. And when I see a film and I enjoy it, I admit it. One thing I will say about this movie, it is way too long. It's a great movie and it's visually stunning. I think the visual effects are better than Gravity. I said it, yeah, I'm not into Gravity. I never will be because I don't like Sandra Bullock. At least Matthew McConaughey, he acted his ass off in this movie. Every time he cries, I'm like, wow, this guy deserved his Oscar this year. Hell yeah. Anne Hathaway, magnifique. She was freaking awesome. Just, even with the short hair, I still think she's a gorgeous woman that can act in nearly everything. Um, Jessica Chastain, beautiful, very good actress in this movie. Even Casey Affleck, well, his character was kind of douchey, but he's still a good actor. I think Ben is better, but he's got some good acting chops. Michael Caine, need I say more? It's Michael Caine. He can act. Uh, Mackenzie Foy, that was in the Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. She's so cute and she can act so well. I'm very, very happy she's getting so much work. She deserved it. Working with Nolan must have been a joy. Like I said, the only major problem of this film is the running time. It is way too long. 169 minutes is too long. I know, I know Nolan was trying to homage 2001: A Space Odyssey. I understand that. I haven't seen that movie, and I know it's very long, but I think the third act kind of drags and it gets kind of slow, and it'll probably bore some people. I thought it was amazing though. The rest of the film, like the first two acts, very strong. Third act, good, but a little lengthy. Just chop some of the scenes out, like when McConaughey is trapped in that, like between the bookshelf. That scene I think went a little bit too long. Also, there's some scenes with Matt Damon. I think some of them could have been cut out. Just for time's sake, because the movie is lengthy, and this is the longest Nolan film I've ever seen. But it was really good. I thought that it was well directed, it was well written, it was very well acted. Nolan squeezes a good performance out of everybody in this film. Even Topher Grace was good in this film, and that's hard to say for some people. But he did good. He didn't cry a lot, but he was good in the film. Just wow, really good space drama. It's intriguing. Just it really drew me in. McConaughey just every time he cried, and there's a scene that he sees his daughter, I think, or his son, on a television screen, and he's like, and I was like, wow, he's amazing in this movie. He didn't have to sound like this, like Christian Bale in the Batman films, but that's another story. Inception was better, but this was really good. This was a pretty damn close to Inception. Intriguing, really well done, great sci-fi spectacle. It was a joy to see this, and I saw this for free. Just cut the running time a little bit. 2 hours and 20 minutes, it would have been just fine. Just don't make a movie too long. Skyfall, I'm gonna see that soon. I don't think I probably the running time I have a problem with that too. Because when you make a film too long, it feels a little dull. But great Nolan film. I'm not kissing his ass just to kiss his ass. It was worth it, and it wasn't a Batman movie, so it did something different. I liked it. Really enjoyed it. Just a film I will get in my collection someday when it comes out on Blu-ray. Seeing this on Blu-ray is going to be a joy. So, Interstellar, grade A, awesome freaking movie. Okay, now that I've talked about Interstellar, number three, this was the funniest movie I saw in the theater that was live action. Oh my god, was this movie a freaking blast. I love this movie so much. It's one of the best Marvel films I have ever seen. Freaking Avengers 3 is going to be awesome when these characters show up again, and I want to see the sequel, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy. Whoa, freaking whoa, this movie was awesome. I haven't laughed in the theater this much in a long time since I saw the first Avengers, and that's still my number one. Avengers is still my favorite Marvel film of all time. But Guardians was a thrill ride in the theater. The jokes were funny. Chris Pratt is freaking awesome as the lead. The visual effects are amazing. Rocket Raccoon steals the whole freaking movie. Bradley Cooper just owned it. When there's a scene that he grabs his gun and he's on top of Groot and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, it was freaking awesome. Groot kicked ass in this movie. Vin Diesel, you did a great job, man. There's a scene that I know if you've seen the movie already. Groot just gets pissed off and he's slamming this guy back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It was freaking hilarious. I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. I was like, I was like that in the theater. And then when Groot smiled, he was like, and see, it's a nod to the audience. This movie loves its audience, and it is what it is. It's a sci-fi spectacle action comedy that I love this year. It was one of the greatest sci-fi movies I've seen in the theater in a very long time. Why was this better than Interstellar? Because it was shorter. That's one reason. And I just had so much fun in the theater. Oh my god, the music in this movie was freaking awesome. When Chris Pratt, this is how the movie starts. They show Star-Lord as a kid. He has a very touching scene with his mother before she dies. And then they show him a couple, like many years later. He's older. He's got his headphones on. He's listening to a Walkman, which I had as a kid. And that was freaking awesome. It reminded me of the 80s and the 90s. And he's like, he's dancing and he's using one of these creatures as a mic. It was freaking awesome. This movie was so amazing. I love this movie so much. Batista kicked ass in this movie. He was funny. He's like a metaphor, and it's like nothing goes over my head, and you're an imbecile. Just the way he talked correctly and just kicking ass. He's just amazing. And then when he goes, yeah, in the theater, there's a scene he does that, and I was like, grade A, freaking fucking A, man. Also, Zoe Saldana, this is the movie that I definitely enjoyed her in. This is the best film she's done. I didn't care for Avatar. I didn't watch her in the Star Trek reboot. The Losers, I didn't buy her, but here, she's freaking awesome. She plays a better alien than she plays a human at times, but she was good. For what she had to do, she was good. Michael Rooker, awesome. I thought he would be underused, but he has more screen time than you can think. And he has this freaking, I think this is like an arrow or something that he goes, and it like goes through these guys. He's freaking awesome. And his southern accent, he still rocks, Michael Rooker. John C. Reilly was funny. Glenn Close was good for what she had to do. Benicio del Toro. Thanos makes a cameo in this film. And the ending was awesome. Just, we are Groot and everybody kicking ass and the spaceships flying. It was a freaking sci-fi, nirvana. And I loved every single second of it. Just love this movie. I want to get it on Blu-ray. It's an amazing film. James Gunn, you did a great job. You put a sense of humor in the movie. See, not every superhero film needs to be dark and gritty and have the characters, be so, emotional. No, give us fun, give us entertainment, give us what we want, and we'll pay for your movie. And it did well, and I love this film. It deserves all the praise it got. It deserved the to be the biggest movie of the year. Well, unless another movie beats it in December, but wow, amazing science fiction spectacle. Marvel did a great job. It was a gamble, and it paid off in spades. The ending, the Howard the Duck cameo at the end credits was so funny, and it's such a nice nod to people that saw the original Howard the Duck film. He was CG, but it was funny to watch. Wow, Guardians of the Galaxy was freaking awesome. So that was my number three. Number two, another great Marvel film that I enjoyed. This was a sequel made by two directors that did a comedy in 2006 called You, Me, and Dupree, and I could not have been happier with that they directed this movie. It was awesome, amazing, and that is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Badass sequel, one the best sequel I saw all year. That's why it beat Guardians only because it came out first, and I love Captain America more as a character. But wow, I take nothing away from Guardians, but this movie just did it for me more when it came to the action, especially because you know Cap is just badass in this movie. Chris Evans, you are the best Captain America I've ever seen. Scarlett Joe, once again, I love you, girl. You were great. Even though the wig was longer than in the Avengers, just you are the most gorgeous blonde I've ever seen. Robert Redford plays a good villain, and he's not a cartoon. Wow, I didn't see that coming. You have Anthony Mackie was fun as the Falcon, even though he's a character that's kind of underrated. Um, Freaking Sebastian Stan is the Winter Soldier. He does a great job. I mean, he's very intimidating. His metal arm was freaking awesome. When he catches Cap's shield, it's like, holy shit. It was a fun political action thriller. It was. Russos, you did a great job. You did what the Wachowskis are probably jealous of you guys because you did a comedy and yet you did this movie and it was better than freaking anything the Wachowskis have done in 10 years. And that's crazy. It is. Just the Russos did a great job. I love this sequel. I really did. It was way better than the first one. This was the most fun I've had in the theater with Cap since I saw him in the Avengers in 2012. I like his new costume. I like the story that Hydra was taking over Shield and for freaking Nick Fury getting hurt and the stakes are much higher and the film has a darker tone but it works. It's not depressing. It's a darker tone that fits. Some parents were complaining that it was violent. It's a PG-13 film. Know what film you're taking your kids to see. If there's blood in it, you can't say, "Oh my God, this movie's horrible." No, it's a PG-13 movie, and it wears it proud. It's not a pussified PG-13 like Expendables 3. Like I said again, Cap is in the film a lot. The action is great. The freaking explosions, the fight scenes. There's a little bit of editing that could have been fixed, but that's why it's not perfect. But it's a great sequel. I give it 2 thumbs up. It is right up in the air. I'm going to get this soon on Blu-ray, possibly next week for Christmas, because I'm really hoping this movie looks amazing on Blu-ray like it did in the theater. Just kick-ass sequel, man. Wow. Avengers 2 is going to be epic sauce on a stick. What was the end credits? Oh, yeah, well, there were 2 scenes. There was the scene with Bucky at the end, and before that, they showed a glimpse of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Wow, I can't wait to see them in Avengers 2. And no, I didn't see X-Men Days of Future Past, but I'm going to give that a shot. In the new year, I'll give it a shot. We'll see if it's any good. But this sequel was awesome. Marvel, thank you for giving us a sequel. It paid off well. And now, the piece de resistance, my favorite movie of the year. I know I'm going to get some flack for this. I don't care. This is my movie. This was my freaking favorite movie of the year, and I love this. I saw this in the theater. It made me laugh a lot. I loved the references. I think the movie's very colorful. It's got great animation. It's a $60 million budget, and it's a lot short. And I will say it. I think it's better than Frozen. What is it? It's the poster behind me, right over there. And I got the Blu-ray. for $3.99 at Best Buy on Black Friday. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when you're living a dream. The Lego Movie. Love this movie. It's a 10 out of 10. It's my favorite animated movie of all freaking time. Yes, I said it. Chris Pratt, great year for him. He did Guardians, which was awesome, and he did this movie, which is awesome, which deserves the Oscar. If it wins Best Animated, it deserves it. Big Hero 6 looks like fun, but wow, this blew me away in the theater. Oh, but some people don't have attachments to Legos. I do. Ever since I played the Lego Star Wars game for PS2 back in 2006, Legos have fascinated me more. When I was a kid, I did play with some Lego blocks. I wasn't good at building things, but after seeing this, I want to build something with Legos. Just wow, this movie kicked ass. It was so funny. Batman, voiced by Will Arnett. That's right, Will Arnett. He was funny here. He's like, I'm Batman, and he's like, I only work in black. He had such good lines in the movie. Just well written, very funny, very good animation, cool references. It had a Star Wars reference. That won me over. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, this movie is freaking amazing. I love this movie so much. Just everything about this movie just screams nostalgia. I love Batman. I love the Star Wars references, and it was very, very fun to watch. Elizabeth Banks is a very cute, goth-like chick. Charlie Day does the voice of the '80s spaceship guy. I think. What was his name? Not Buddy. What was his name? I forgot. Benny. He's crazy. He likes to build spaceships, and then at the end he's like, spaceship, 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 spaceship. It was freaking awesome. I was like, this movie is so crazy. It's meant for me, man. I love this movie so much. Just I can't say any more. I don't know how much more I could talk about this movie because it's just I could talk about it for an hour and it wouldn't bother me at one bit. Will Ferrell was funny as the villain. The Craggle! I'm like, he's great. Liam Neeson plays a cool, good cop, bad cop by personality. He's great. Morgan Freeman, this guy's voice alone can carry a film. He's just great in almost everything he's in. The Unikitty is voiced by Alison Brie. Oh, yum 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 yum. Her voice is just she is so cute, and I can't believe that she's in her 30s, but she's so sexy. Just in real life, she's a doll. She was in Scream 4, and she played a bitchy character. But wow, I want to see her more after seeing her in this. What she does at the end, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was cool. Just fun animated movie. Yes, I enjoyed this more than Frozen. Frozen is a good movie. I did enjoy it. I thought it was very cute. Olaf saves that movie. But Let It Go, I've heard that like 100 times this year. This song, Everything Is Awesome, I could hear it for a million times, and I love it. Everything is better when we stick together. Side by side, you and I gonna be forever and party forever. And I'm glad this is getting a sequel. I'm glad this made so much money. I'm glad the kids love this movie. I loved it, and I'm almost 30. Let that sink in. I'm an adult, and I love the Lego Movie, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. This movie kicks ass. And just the fact that I got it on Blu-ray, that's how much I love this film. So funny when Emmett goes, that was so funny, and then it was like, ah, just fun movie, just loved it. I don't know why there's some people that didn't care for this movie. I know Mike liked it, but that's fine. It's my favorite movie. I did not see Edge of Tomorrow. I don't like Emily Blunt. Sorry, not for me. I didn't see X-Men Days of Future Past. I didn't see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I didn't see any of these art house flicks that have come out or are gonna come out. But excuse me, this is my favorite movie of 2014. Animated masterpiece that did entertain me from beginning to end, and that's what I want out of a movie. If you do that, you're awesome. This movie's awesome. I love this movie so much. So that's my top 10 favorite movies of 2014. Hope to see you guys next time when next year I do the 2000 best films of 2015. Hopefully Avengers 2 is gonna be there, man. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait, man. They call me John Avenger for a reason, and it's because I love the Avengers, and I can't wait for the next year. This was a really, actually, a pretty good year for films. I will say that right now. Not everything in this year sucked. There were a lot of hidden gems in the mountains of crap we had in the beginning of this year, and this was one of them. And so were a bunch of other films that I mentioned before. So take care, guys. Tell me the films that you loved in 2014, the ones you hated, the ones you thought were okay. Just, think positive, because next year you don't know what tomorrow will bring. Remember that, guys. So I'll see you guys later, and have a good holiday. If I don't see you guys by Christmas, I'll probably do another video showing you the things I got for Christmas, and just talk about the films coming out next year that I'm looking forward to, and you already know what I'm looking forward to. So see you guys. Awesome. Later.